Well, the latest update from the Ghana Health Service has said that 3 more deaths have occurred from the virus, taking our death total to 874. Meanwhile, a professor of epidemiology, Fred Bink, has raised concerns about the lack of a responsive mechanism to the increasing COVID-19 severe and death cases over the last 3 weeks. He says without a clear strategy to increase testing, more people would die from the virus.
Deaths in Africa reached a record peak in the week that ended August 1, 2021, marking the highest 7-day death toll since the onset of the pandemic. According to data from the World Health Organization, over 6,400 deaths were recorded, with South Africa and Tunisia accounting for over 55% of the fatalities. With more than 172,000 deaths, Africa accounts for over 4% of the over 4.2 million COVID-related deaths recorded globally. In Ghana, some 871 people have been killed by the virus as at August 4, 2021. Between July and August 4, which is a 24-day period, 72 people have died of COVID-19 in Ghana. Adherence to the protocols have reduced drastically. No social distancing, low mask wearing, and reduction in the use of sanitizers. A professor in epidemiology, Fred Benka, bemoans the lack of adequate testing to know the extent of spread of the COVID-19 Delta variant. Even more concerning is the increasing rate at which COVID is being recorded in schools across the country. According to the Ghana Health Service, 404 schools have so far recorded cases, and a number of these schools have large day student population who mingle with people in trotro or buses. Some 405,971 people have received both jabs of AstraZeneca, whilst 865,422 have taken only the first dose. I asked the manager of the expanded program on immunization at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Kwame Amponsachianu, if the people who have received the first jab of the AstraZeneca vaccines since March 2021 awaiting the second jab are still protected.
Zero. Once you get the first shot, the body is already primed, and it is a principle for all vaccines. So even if it takes 2 years, I'm just assuming without admitting, to get a second dose, it is still a second dose. And the same response that would come if you had given it earlier, the immunity go to zero? No, it doesn't go, but it will still diminish over time. And for now, the current evidence suggests that by 6 months.
So how many vaccines are expected in the days ahead?
So the Pfizer I do have is 1.223.
1.223 million.
Yes. And for the AstraZeneca, it's approximately 600,000. It's short by only about 4,000. So it's 596,000 doses.
Are we buying this?
The AstraZeneca is coming through the COVAX facility and then also the bilateral arrangement. Yeah, so Mr. Okansi, all along we've been talking about Pfizer and AstraZeneca. Now you switch to Johnson & Johnson.
Ghana has to deal with the uncertainty of the global vaccine war and the self-inflicted allegations of corruption involving the health ministry if it has to meet the 20 million vaccination 2021. Alfred Okansi, TV3 News.
Also, Ghana has received 177,600 doses of the Johnson & Johnson single-shot vaccines under the African Vaccine Acquisition Trust. The doses are a part of a total of 6.4 million vaccine doses to be shipped to African Union member states in August.
Ghana is among the first 10 African countries to receive vaccines through the partnership. The vaccine deliveries are part of the COVID-19 vaccine advance procurement agreement signed on March 28 by African Vaccine Acquisition Trust, AVAT, for the purchase of 220 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson single-shot COVID-19 vaccine, with the potential to order an additional 180 million doses. In total, the 400 million vaccines acquired by AVAT are sufficient to immunize a third of the African population. The arrangement with Johnson & Johnson was made possible through a $2 billion facility provided by the African Export-Import Bank, Afrexim Bank, and the support of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. The member states who have ordered vaccines through AVAT will continue to receive shipments in the following months.
From now towards the end of the year, we expect to receive a total of about 50 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine for the African continent, and each country will receive its fair share. 7 African Union member countries and 6 CARICOM countries will receive a total of 6.4 million doses.
Deputy Minister of Health, Tina Gifty-Mensah, assured government will continue to deliver on its mandate of ensuring a healthy population for national development. The African Vaccine Acquisition Trust Mechanism was established by the African Union with support from the African...
So that's the situation. Some vaccines have arrived. That's the single-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccines. Less than 200,000 of those have arrived in the country. But Ghana's case counts continue to spike. We're joined by Dr. Michael Owusu. He is a virologist with the Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research, KCCR. Thank you, Dr. Owusu. Before we came on air, we just saw an update of 3 more deaths, taking the death toll now to 874. From where you sit as an observer and also a participant in the COVID management proper, must we be concerned?
Yeah, good evening to you and good evening to all your viewers. Of course, we must be concerned. It's been 2 weeks now since the president's last address, and you will expect that if we were to adhere to the protocols and to also enforce the protocols, ideally you will expect a reduction in the number of new cases and a possible reduction in the number of new deaths. But then, if active case count is continuing to rise, new cases is on the increase, and death is on the increase, it just tells you that not much. People are still not complying to the protocols, and the impact that is expected to be achieved after the president's announcement is yet to be realized. So it looks as if compliance and adherence to protocol is a big challenge, and we really have to be serious about it, especially because of the high level of virulence of this Delta strain, and the point that if we don't deal with it, it may likely drive this wave and may likely cause more deaths.
And that will be worrying, because one would have expected that the presidential address plus the enforcement of the protocols in some areas, especially the Ashanti region, would have, caused some reduction in the numbers. But clearly we are seeing the numbers spike. Would you say that beyond the talk shop by governmental agencies, there's pretty much nothing happening at the grassroots?
Well, I know a lot is being done by the regional minister, especially in the Ashanti region and other regions as well. I also know that the public health unit is doing some education. But then, how much can they do if the people do not just want to adhere and don't want to do much? So some pockets of actions are being taken, but I think largely what you observe outside is that people still don't care much. People they don't just realize that we are in a difficulty. So I feel that although they are doing their best, but then this is not achieving the needed impact. And the numbers playing out there seem to show that nothing much is happening. If people were to adhere and to abide by these protocols, you will expect some outcomes, some tangibles, which is the reduction in the number of new cases and deaths. Once this is rising, it just tells you that people are not doing what they are supposed to do.
Before you leave us, Doc, we've just taken delivery of some 100 and almost 200,000 single-shot doses of Johnson & Johnson. Who should be the targets for this latest in the rollout of a plan, per your expert advice?
Yeah, so I think this is a welcoming news. I know that one, Johnson & Johnson is a single dose, which would mean that the high level of compliance. So unlike the 2 doses, once you take a first dose, you are sure of protection. We also know that 14 days after taking this vaccine, you are likely to achieve efficacy of more than 70%. And then after 28 days, you can achieve efficacy of about more than 90% against critical illness, hospitalization, and severe disease. So for me, the target should still look at health workers. I know that a number of them have still not been vaccinated. So the first is look at health workers. The second is to look at those with chronic underlying ailments, the elderly people. And once we exhaust this population, we can now generalize this to other people and then ensure that they all take part in this.
Thank you very much. Dr. Michael Owusu is with the Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research. He's a virologist. They've been, doing a lot of testing during this COVID pandemic.
Well, we continue to encourage the strict adherence to the safety protocols because traders at the Gemini market and its environs in the Volta region disregard the wearing of face masks as they say the virus is not in the district. Joseph Armstrong visited the market and reports not a single trader was in nose mask.
The Tong Gemini market is one of the biggest and busiest in the Volta region. This vibrant lakeside market attracts patrons from as far as Kumasi and over 70 other lakeside communities on market days. However, the wearing of face masks in and around the market was not part of their business. The latest update from the Ghana Health Service suggests Volta region is becoming one of the hotspots for the COVID-19 contraction. But here at Gemini in the Volta region, not even a single soul wears nose masks here. You're not wearing nose masks, why? What's the reason?
There's no reason. I'm using handkerchief. I know the camera a problem with food enemy.
No man say, Ghana look, I believe me a community Ghana. Because of your vote, probably fan I offer out you cry the come don't know massive. And I'm not gonna get me what you say Ghana.
So what they are saying in the local language is that they don't believe there's coronavirus in Ghana, and some of them also say that they drink alcohol and that is enough to fight the virus.
Because of the business I do, most of the customers, when they come, you have to talk to them. You see, that's why.
I'm wearing those masks, I'm talking, you can hear me.
Yeah, but like sometimes.
Oh, so you don't have any reason. You need to mask up. Do you agree?
Okay, yes, I agree.
Let's stay in the Volta region a while longer and focus on some economic issues and the poor states of Sekuma, Bosso and Gemini roads in the South Dai and Sojaban districts is affecting economic livelihoods in the area. Traders and drivers contend the once vibrant Gemini market is fast fading following the poor state of roads.
Roads from Doji, Enum, Manyo, Tosin, Bosso, Kaira, all the way to Gemini in the South Dai and the Sujaman districts are dusty. Aside the dusty nature of the road is its poor state. So is it what you go through every day trying to ply the road from Sekuma Junction all the way to Gemini?
Oh, from Askima to Germany, the road no good. So you spend a lot of time on the road top before you reach the place we are going. The road no good. The same as from Germany to Bevel to the road no good. Plenty more borehole in the road top.
Oh, plenty boreholes on the road top.
I swear you.
Is it supposed to be boreholes or potholes?
Oh, boreholes.
They are boreholes, not potholes.
No potholes.
For drivers, it takes the dairy ones to stay in business. Many have stopped taking produce to the Gemini markets. For these other drivers who ply the road, their vehicles are already in a bad state. The drivers can only complain.
From Kwebe Junction to Todome Junction to Ajokwe, very, very poor and bad. Especially the vehicles from the north, if they take yam, charcoal, the moment they just cross the barrier at the Sabdan district, Massa, spoiling property. At times, if you take women, pregnant women going to Peking Hospital, they lost life.
And back here in Accra, traffic congestion at various entry points into the capital city is becoming unbearable. The situation on the Pramprang barrier roads reveal a very stressful situation, particularly on weekends. Here's another report by Joseph Armstrong.
Traffic jams on most roads into the capital were so terrible that many drivers gave up on where they were going. By 4 p.m., the Pramprang barrier areas were completely choked with vehicles. Drivers who dared to use side roads come face to face with the same situation and wish they had stuck to the lanes.
3 hours now, just from Afrao to Accra. from Central University Junction up to this way. You have to maneuver through all these roads to this side.
About 20 minutes road, you have to drive almost 4 to 5 hours before you reach Bombaria. What is going on?
Most drivers, commuters were greatly concerned about the situation and called for a fast solution to the problem.
It's irritating too. A journey of, let's say, 5 minutes has turned to 1 hour, 2 hours. It's really terrible.
I've been in for 2 hours now. I thought I was following, I was dodging the traffic, but wherever you pass, it's chocked.
The situation, of course, had an effect on commuters who are eagerly waiting for public transports. The Roads and Highways Minister, Amakwata, had promised the commencement of the expansion project on the Prom main route before the end of July 2021. But does he still stand by his words?
We can't do everything at the same time simultaneously, one after the other. Everything has to be planned. You understand? Yes, everything has to be planned.
Joseph Armstrong, Good TV3, Prom.
Let's do some education-related stories now. Pupils at the new Kaira DA Basic School in the North Dine district of the Volta region study in the open and on the corridors of a new 6-unit classroom block yet to be handed over to the school. Joseph Armstrong Gold again visited the community and reports the school block, though completed almost a year ago, remains shut.
The new Kaira DA Basic School was established in 2000. It took close to 20 years before the school was given a facelift. The renovation has been completed since 2020, but the project is yet to be handed over to the school authorities. This has compelled the school authorities to make do with the corridors.
Okay, clap for yourself. We are suffering because sometimes if water is falling on us. We are not learning. We want to enter the classroom and learn.
We are not happy. There was not blackboard, and we want to enter our classroom to learn.
For children in nursery, even when the new block is handed over, they will have to continue to study under trees since they do not have a classroom. According to the teachers, the situation has affected the students' performance, with many of them dropping out of school.
Because the class is combined, I'm finding it difficult because class 2, their way of understanding is quite higher than the class 1. But I'm forced to teach both of them the same thing at all the time.
This is how it has been since we came back from Corona break. We've been outside. We have only one board to talk of that we share. So when the class 1 and 2 teacher, that is, the teacher combined those two classes, is teaching, that means the rest of us have to be doing some oral lessons to them.
Head teacher of the school, Daniel Jubim, said all efforts to get the keys handed over to them have not been successful.
After COVID, I was transferred to the school. So I came to meet the situation. Okay, the community, they went to the DC to go and ask why they are not opening the door. They came back to tell me that the DC said he would come. By the time the DC gave them, has elapsed and he has not come. So teaching and learning is not going on effectively, as a matter of fact, on the corridor.
Until the contractor hands over the keys to the school authorities, these pupils will continue to use this corridor as their classrooms. Joseph Armstrong, Gold TV3, New Kaira. I would have to put all these things.
Away from that, the Knights and Ladies of Marshall have waded into the ongoing debate on criminalizing LGBTQ+, calling on all to support the bill currently before Parliament. According to the Catholic Church Society, all religious, traditional and cultural beliefs of Ghana frown on the practice, hence any attempt to endorse it will be a sacrilege.
According to the Knights and Ladies of Marshall, there is nothing righteous about LGBTQ+ to warrant any debate over criminalizing it.
So we, as Marshallans, we support our priests, the bishop and the pope, not to allow this thing to continue in our country. It is a bad thing, and we should desist from it.
The two groups were addressing their 6th Regional Congress at Sebila. An outgoing Upper East Regional Noble Lady, Selina Menyila, insisted God has created human beings in a special way, and any attempt to change that must be resisted by all. She called for a collective voice against LGBTQ+ in the country, adding, "It is never a human rights issue."
Going the wrong way doesn't give you the chance to fight for your human right, because me, I don't see anything humanity in what they are doing. So me, if anybody is saying we should give a human right, what we should allow them, it means we are encouraging them to do the wrong thing.
Outgoing Upper East Regional Grand Knight Patrick Tangonyere, for his part, advised the youth not to indulge themselves in any deviant behaviors under the guise of modernity.
There are so many associations, organizations that people just jump into without knowing the real meaning of what offers them. And that's why we've come about all this LGBT.
The Congress was on the theme, understanding and aspiring to live by Fratelli Tutti, the encyclical of Pope Francis as Marshallans.
We want to encourage the youth to go into orders or associations that will help them grow and have a bright future for them.
Let's stay on this subject a while longer, because the promotion of proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values bill has been laid before Parliament. My colleague Evelyn Tingma was at Bukom, a suburb of Accra, where gay and lesbian activities arrived to find out what they make of the bill and its implications.
Bukom, a predominantly Ghan community in Accra, is regarded as one dominated by gays and lesbians. On a typical afternoon, it was very easy locating persons engaged in the practice, as residents easily pointed to homes. One of them took us round the community to speak to their members and persons they called their godmothers. But some residents spoke ill of the practice. Speaking in a local dialect, they argued that the act was demonic and expect Parliament to pass the bill and the President assent to it as soon as it is passed to criminalize the activities of such persons.
Jumadi wenu omunji ntumu wa Parliament, but sesadi anu basu wa Parliament ya yuazin bedani de ablochi fronu omu yebia ye Ghana die ye penise sadi enu.
First, me see me worry me kono. Me demand down for a bar. Me see me the new year be. Me share nyadi papa na me ba mechi. Abo samadi.
This gentleman said even though he is not a gay, he has lots of friends who are and advocated the anti-gay bill to be passed.
I mean, a guy wearing weave on and a nails, is it normal? It's not normal. So the person is a gay. So that person needs to be arrested. Christian Council, if they can, have a fasting and prayer for them, because I don't think this is normal.
He said poverty is what drives most of the young people into gayism. But persons practicing gayism want the lawmakers to spend their energy on other developmental issues.
This I'm gay and I like what I'm doing. So if I'm working like a woman, nobody should stop me doing what I want. Since from my infancy, I do things like a woman. So I don't know how to stop it.
Patience Engman says she is a godmother to the gays in Bukom and said in Ghana that passage of the bill will not help, as that is what they have chosen to do. Loris Doku sells smoked fish, and he said he cannot stop the act since he was born with it.
We never said that until the books are rotten.
Well, the debate may continue, but the bill to criminalize the activities of gays and lesbians has already been laid in Parliament, and the outcome after a debate on it will be of much interest to all. Evelyn Tingma, TV3 News. Bukum, Accra.
You're also watching News 360 here on TV3 from the News Hub. We have more stories if you stay with us after this break.
I'm going to interview Zuzum right here in my house. Hey!
Look up there. Why are you using inferior pen?
It was a mistake. I no check.
Acrobat, I'm going to knock you out.
I know, sir.
You deserve quality.
Don't make mistakes. Stop.
You did the right thing.
When you are going to buy a paint, don't look left, don't look right. Go straight and grab the luxury acrylic paint. No be any painting be paint.
The luxury acrylic paint.
Paint me champion.
That's
not your wife.
Every time your children are falling sick, you don't have money.
Stop! Everyone! Baby, baby, baby!
Stop.
What's setting me for tonight? You know, I like that sweet scented insecticide spray. You know, little bit on the porch. Now, the be pity living room home. Bedroom, what do you hear? Me love you, me baby. Of course, I take very good care of my wife and children. So I always win. If you want to protect your family against mosquitoes, there's still this sweet scented perfume coil now. I repel mosquitoes. I know a man who say baby. And the spray also sweet scented. It kills all crawling and flying insects. Heaven insecticide. Oh, sharp no. Prevention is always better than Maunsanka or Heaven insecticide spray. And in the coil, if you say heaven dear,
this advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Customer, 1 minute. Kweku sharp. Eso afama de baby. Oh, sharp kra. Hey, Antekone, enem no da susu sisko. Kweku sharp. Oh, we dey oye. On te se ba ko no de misike dwane ye no. Sent na Vodafone cash. What is susu any insurance? Abom e wo my feature so. And no one is our phone. No dial *462#. No register. Get me an sir. So dial *462# now register. No one chase the capital our person this year or something. If you take Ghana airport, what's science in your life insurance? My future accident and also what to my future bebo. Sika ketu every to say 2 Ghana cedis. I would back out savings money. Any my future idea, ayo. My future about my no me. For phone, na dial *462#. I will Vodafone so never come home. My future. Obini watching 70. Fabisi.
Vodafone so now to me my future, my life, and a Millennium Insurance, and any brewer.
Whenever Princess starts, the neighbors do complain that her voice and the beats are too loud. Who is scared of the voices of tomorrow's superstars?
You special in your way. It's me, like no other. No one can be like you. It's me.
Must be a neighbor.
You special in your way. It's me, like no other. No one like you. It's me, like no other.
Here's to all amazing moms who identify and nurture the uniqueness in our kids.
Indomie instant noodles tastes great.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
I love football. Football can be a dirty game, on or off the pitch. Even when I'm trying to score at a party, stains find a way of tracking me down. But I don't worry at all, because I have Cleansoft. Use new Cleansoft 360 Deep Clean, a unique formula with active ingredients and enzymes that gets rid of all stubborn stains and leaves your clothes smelling wonderful.
Cleansoft, my favorite.
Cleansoft 360. Deep clean, clean all.
You're welcome back. Now, the Director General of Police Criminal Investigations Department is leading a technical team to unravel circumstances leading to the death of female Lance Corporal at Nkoko in the Eastern Region. In a statement issued by Director General of Police Public Affairs Directorate ACP Kwesi Fori, The police says it is working to get to the bottom of a latest incident. The police service has meanwhile been giving some updates on their preliminary probe into the matter. The service says the manager of a hotel where Lance Corporal Sarai J was found dead has been picked up by the police together with the boyfriend of a deceased, Timothy Dampare. The two are being interrogated while a hunt is on for a Hyundai Elantra vehicle last driven by the deceased to the hotel where she was found dead.
Let's now go to the presidency, where President Akufo-Addo has commissioned a 6.4 million cedi rice processing factory under the One District, One Factory initiative at Seveligu in the northern region. The project is one of 5 new facilities being established by the Rural Enterprises Program.
The factory is under the 1D, 1F Common User Facility with the capacity to produce between 1.5 to 2.8 tons of processed rice per hour. The processing plants at the factory include modern parboiling, milling and packaging. The factory will employ 118 people, while over 600 farmers from the area will be directly involved in the supply of paddy rice to the factory. President Akufo-Addo called for unity among the people to accelerate the pace of development.
Afterwards, I went to see my brother. I'm around the land, your mother and your. Today, I'm here for you. The 3 people who are responsible for this historic achievement of peace, reconciliation, and unity.
Responding to a request by the paramount chief of the Yo traditional area, Yona Yakubu and Dani, on COVID-19 vaccination, President Akufo-Addo reiterated his commitment to ensure that 20 million Ghanaians get the vaccination despite the current global shortage of the vaccines.
We have learned from the COVID pandemic. We need to strengthen our health system and make sure that all our people, all over Ghana, have access to a strong healthcare system.
The paramount chief.
Now, Muslims have a unique sense of fashion which many non-Muslims emulate. But what are the rules for the Islamic way of dressing? My colleague Aisha Yakubu Khalid has a fashion masterclass for us.
It is common to hear someone say, "She looks like a Muslim." But is there a look so obvious that persons who ascribe to the Islamic faith have?
We're here on the streets of Osu to ask the question, do Muslims have a unique sense of fashion that makes them easily found out? If they do, what are those unique things?
Normally their style of dressing, the mayafi and the lily normally, and the way they cover themselves, everywhere is covered.
Even if they are in trousers, you could see they have longer tops covering. It's the outfit first before the veil if the person is married.
The way they dress, you see it covers every part of their body, and then especially what they use to cover their head.
Your way of dressing, your hijab, your long dresses, the way you cover up all your stuff, your decency.
The outlook in the form of the mayafi, the hijab and then all that.
Well, we have our answers now. Let's put this to a test.
I'm showing my test group a non-Muslim dressed in a hijab and other accessories that are assumed Islamic, and a Muslim without one. Let's see what their answers are.
Do you think that this is a Muslim?
Yes.
How about this? Do you think this is a Muslim?
No.
One thing is obvious. There's a look that portrays someone as of the Islamic faith. But like appearances, one's faith cannot be identified through looks.
Having conducted my short experiments, we are now at the largely Muslim community of Nima to speak to some fashion designers to understand some of the fashion trends that makes a Muslim stand out from the others.
Now there are more and more, Muslim women in the industry, like going to offices to work and
so many educated young girls. They are in school, you know, dressing up in their hijab and everything. So of course, you want that dress that's, you know, modestly covered, at the same time too fashionable.
Zalia Kassim moved to Ghana from the US to start a business as a designer. She says, though aware of the rules for Islamic clothing, elegance is an underlying principle in her clothing, and she advises her clients, especially the women, not to be shy in expressing that.
Gradually, fashion has evolved. So I don't see anything wrong with the modern hijabi woman, you know, going with the flow. I mean, so far as I'm fulfilling my religious obligations, I'm covered. I don't see why, if I found a way to make something fashionable and look presentable, it's an issue.
Auntie Janet is a converted Muslim and has had over a decade experience as a seamstress. She tells me she sometimes has to ask her clients to change style because it did not conform to Islamic rules.
I always advise my Muslim clients to cover up because the rules demand us to be modest.
Saad Ibrahim agrees with Auntie Janet.
When my clients ask me to make something tight, I try to change their mind to opt for something modest.
Abdul Hakim Sanusi, CEO of Done, is however a liberal.
Modesty is all about covering up. So, in as much as we are covering the Muslim bride, we also want her to look elegant and beautiful. Even if it's a simple casual wear, we need to make sure that we have a touch of detailing, at least class to it.
In Islam, both men and women are required to dress modestly. However, there are special rules that are to be followed when it comes to choosing the right outfit. Muslim cleric Sheikh Armiel Shaibu explains what those rules are.
Don't be extravagant. For the female, make sure you don't expose certain parts of your body. So that's what the Quran will say, that lower your garments and put your veil around your chest such that people around you will see you as a dignified woman.
It is obvious so much informs the Muslim fashion style and perhaps how they stand out as a group. But how is the modern Muslim woman able to infuse the style into the new fashion trends? That will be the question I'll be answering when I engage a section of young Muslim women next. Aisha Yakubu Khalid, TV3 News, Nima, Accra.
An interesting report there by the classy Aisha Yakubu Khalid. Let's do some more stories here. Now, a former associate professor of religion and ethics at the Institute of African Studies, the University of Ghana, Legon, Professor Kofi Asare Opoku, wants the Education Ministry to make Ghanaian languages and cultural studies compulsory in all schools to safeguard Ghana's heritage and pride. He spoke with TV3 at the first Pan-African Heritage World Museum Conference held in Accra.
We begin by teaching our languages in school seriously, not the way we've been teaching it now. Of course, even the children don't believe in their own languages. If you go to the secondary schools and so on, the teachers who teach Ghanaian languages are not respected because we don't respect ourselves as a people. If we did, we would respect our languages.
He again expressed worry over the total disregard for anything Africa.
I would advise the minister to take our languages seriously and teach it and speak it, teach our culture, our customs, our dances, our music. If you go to any school in Ghana and you tell a student, well, sing a folk song from Ghana, all they can sing are church hymns.
He added, Africa will find its ways clear if it's given the maximum respect, honor, and celebrate the wisdom of its ancestors, just like others do. A Pan-Africanist expressed similar sentiments.
This project has bring together, the greatest African historian to really rewrite and tell our history from our own perspective.
the first Pan-African Heritage Conference held under the theme Building Bridges Among Africans Worldwide Through Scholarships, Culture, Technology and Innovation.
Stay with us here on News 360. We have the very latest in sports with Aniela Aluti.
Phantom X, new Elise flagship. Be bold, be extraordinary.